it certainly seems there's a great opportunity ahead for CO2 markets with the concrete sector. Now, I know I've already asked you what the future might hold, but just how big do you think this market could become? Can you give us any further numbers or kind of perspective on that?
Sure. I think the best way is to look at some of the other work that's been done to calculate carbon utilization, so C2ES. According to their work, they're saying that this industry could be up to $1 trillion industry by 2030. On the concrete carbon utilization space, we see an estimated $400 billion market opportunity in the concrete industry. And if we do that properly, we should be able to reduce about 3 gigatons of annual CO2 emissions from this industry alone. So just to give some scale, sometimes it's hard to get scale, this is the current emissions of the digital industry. So the concrete industry can make a significant impact. In fact, to make this clearer, we have developed a roadmap, and we call it the CarbonCure's Roadmap to 500 megatons. And you'll find it on our website, and it details how we're going to do it, the current technology that is out there, and a few other technologies that are about to land and be expanded. But for this, just for this portion, we are going to need 166 megatons of CO2 a year near the end of this journey. So it is there's a lot of opportunity for CO2 capture and production. And but the interesting part is, for all this to happen, we need a few critical policies to be put in place, right? We need policymakers to make policies that reduce barriers so we can take the CO2 and reuse it in a beneficial way and create value from the CO2 rather than just sequestering it, throwing it underground. We think they should start sending market signals and provide incentives through their procurement policy, because remember, the governments do procure a lot of concrete in their production. So to encourage the adoption of CO2 utilization technologies, CarbonCure, and others to maximize the impact and obviously reductions. So within our industry, though, we have a trend in the past of what we're calling prescriptive standards. So thou shalt make concrete this way. And it actually slows innovation. So if we could switch or move towards a performance-based standard for concrete, it could empower a lot of these innovative concrete producers to optimize their mixes while still meeting all the requirements for the project or that the architect or the engineer require, but to do it with a significantly lower environmental impact. So there are a few governments that are starting that. Hawaii, New York have shown some leadership, passing important policies, starting with the establishment of what we're calling environmental product declarations, or EPDs. This provides a transparency required to understand what you produce, what everybody else is producing with respect to the environmental impact, and then allowing, through the movement to performance-based, these innovative producers to actually adopt CarbonCure as well as other technologies to further reduce their footprint. So this is all occurring in the industry. It's starting to move.